Hello, my lovely Marshall Blenders. How are you? How are you? Hey, what's up? Before I put on my trusty blankie, shout outs to Living It Up with Denise. Do you remember this shirt? I hope you're doing good. I hope everyone is doing good. What's going on, guys? We've made it through to Hump Day. It's Wednesday, May 13, and I had to wear a sweater outside. So, I mean, which is kind of normal because it is considered still spring sweater weather, but usually it'd be a lot warmer by this time. So, I find that a little bit interesting. So, I just posted the first two parts of the color correction to BRUHMANTHA's hair. And it was a lot of fun. So just quick color theory. If your hair is yellow, which means what usually people call blonde, right? But there's different levels of blonde. So if the hair is yellow, if you use something that is purple, violet colored, that neutralizes the yellow. If the hair is orange, you use something that is the color blue, and blue will neutralize it. If your hair has red in it, then you use the color green, and green will neutralize it. So BRUHMANTHA's hair, after washing it a few times, because if the hair is not, how do I explain it? Blue and yellow make green, right? So eventually what could happen is that the hair, because blue is a dominant color in purple, if the hair is more yellow than white, it will become like a greenish color, which was what happened to BRUHMANTHA's hair. And so green, then you use red. But I wanted to remove as much of the deeper green that you guys saw in the beginning of that video, to then have it be a nicer red and not so much a muddy red, because that's what would have happened. It would have become a muddy red. Because remember, if there's too much green, then the green and the red would just neutralize each other, and then it would be a muddy color. But here, you see her hair took a very nice reddish brown color. Now, if you see this look, I didn't use a flat iron. I blew her hair out. I did use high temperature. You guys know I sprayed her with my favorite L'Oreal. Look at that. Sprayed her with the L'Oreal. What? Who's gonna tell me? You gonna go tell? You ain't gonna tell. What you gonna tell me? You ain't gonna tell me nothing. You ain't gonna tell me nothing. What? Oh, and it went back. Ooh. So you know that was the spray from L'Oreal. Now, as the heat protectant, I used the Rusk. This was what I used to style hair after the blowout. It was the Instyler. How many of y'all remember the Instyler? The Instyler, I don't see it as much as I used to see it on YouTube. I mean, people used to talk about the Instyler every day. It was all the rave. So I did make that video. I'm gonna be editing it and posting it. I love the Instyler till today. Oops, turned off my light. Okay, I'll stay with this one. I love the Instyler till today. Hasn't changed. And I've had that one for like about a good 2 years. Maybe plus years, maybe 4 years. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, probably 4 years. And it still works wonderfully. Does the job. Gets the job done. So I did her hair yesterday. And so I was thinking about something, guys. The word abundance means that there is enough for everyone, right? So what can you learn about abundance, particularly us that live here in New York, in the Bronx? A bodega, a deli, and a local grocery store. They're essentially the same thing, aren't they? They're the same thing, just different words. And sometimes you have 2 or 3 on the same block, but each one is able to make its money and survive and thrive. Why is that? Because there is abundance. So if you apply that to different aspects of life, that gives you some kind of calmness and peace, because then you're not worrying about having to think that you have to compete or knock somebody out. No, the reality is that if you're a hairstylist, like in my case, I've seen it here in the Bronx a lot. There will be 2 salones de bellezas, beauty salons, on a block, and everybody's able to eat. You know, or within each block or every other block, there's a salon de belleza, and it's okay. Same thing with the cuchifritos. You know what a cuchifrito is? A cuchifrito is a Spanish restaurant. Okay, so it's particularly a Caribbean Spanish restaurant, and there's a lot of them here in the Bronx, and they all make their money. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't have to knock somebody in order to be able to thrive and have success. So that's something I was meditating on, thinking about today. And if you apply it in your life, you'll realize, guess what? You don't have to knock someone to be great, but also B, you don't have to stop or prevent yourself from going for something because there's 75, 85, 100 other people doing it. If there's that many other people doing it, so what? There's enough other people out there that will be attracted to you, that will be appealing, that you will be appealing to them. So don't let the fact that there's so many other people doing something that you love to do or that you want to do, don't let it keep you from starting it and becoming a success in it, okay? Because what happens is sometimes people think that being a success at something means that you're the only one that people go to. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a big lie. T-Mobile is a success. Verizon is a success. AT&T is a success. Cricket is a success in its own right. Metro PCS is a success in its own right. So guess what? I've named several phone companies that all make their money, you know, and then now what about if there's a monopoly on something? There's several reasons why there could be a monopoly on something. Okay, so for the first reason, it could be because the person or the company or the entity manipulated the situation so that there was a monopoly. In other words, they were able to eliminate the competition, not necessarily because they were better, but because they were more ruthless, for lack of a better word. So they eliminated people that were even better than them because they wanted to be the only ones. And that's not success. Because at the end of the road, guess what? You don't have true happiness, you don't have true joy, and you've made a bunch of enemies. So that's not success. The other way that it can happen, that a monopoly can happen, is because the quality of the product is that good, that literally the person establishes their own lane and nobody can touch it. People can try, but nobody can touch it. You know what I mean? So, or also if they were the only one, if they were the first ones to create it, right? Like Olaplex. Olaplex was created. There are other things that have done essentially the same thing. Protein treatments rebond the hair, you know? But theirs was the first one that did this chemical type of a rebond. So they came out. Now, a few years after they came out, there's a ton of them, and they're all good in their own right. But everybody knows that Olaplex is the tops, you know? There are other ones that are good or better for other kinds of hair, like Uberless is better for textured hair or ethnic hair, but Olaplex is still tops, you know? So what in your life have you not started, not initiated, not pushed forward to do because you feel that there's too much competition and there won't be room for you and to have success? What is it? Then my advice to you is start, you know? Don't let competition keep you from initiating, because there's going to be people out there that will be attracted to you, that you will be, your product you will be appealing to. You know, it's kind of like this channel. I started it literally just to start it, which is why I have it. I have it just for conversation. It's kind of like a living diary where you know, other people are able to read it, you know, and instead of reading it, they get to hear it. I don't edit. I mean, I don't have a script, you know. I don't come here and I'm like, oh well, let me think about what I'm. No, it's whatever I'm thinking about at that moment. If I turn on the camera and like what happened today, what popped in my head was something I was thinking about before, which was that there's abundance. Then let's talk about that. You know, I make these videos, these kinds of chit chat videos, with the idea of, yes, being kind of a Marshall's Blends hair journal, but it's also for you to put your camera down on the table and have your coffee and chit chat with me, or have your dinner and talk to me. If you're quarantining and there's no one there, guess what? I will accompany you for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and hopefully we'll be able to have a great conversation, you know? And if you want to say something back to me, how do you say it back to me? You write in the comment section and you tell me what you think, you know? So yeah, so that was what I was thinking about. Just, that's it. And also, don't be afraid to create your own lane. Create your own lane, you know? And sometimes we think, man, but how can I be the best? No one is better than you at being you. And that's how you create your lane. So do the best you can at being you, and you'll create your own lane. No one can do what I do. No one can be like me. You know, they can buy the blankie, but they can't give you the talkie like I do. Ay, ay, ay. Yo soy especial. But yeah, so that's it. That's where I'm going to leave you guys, okay? So I hope you enjoy the color correction video. It's actually the first and second part. And then I'm going to be posting sometime this week the third part. And I'm going to include the styling with the Instyler. Okay, so I love you guys from the heart. Con todo mi corazón. Goodbye, my lovely Marshall blenders. I'll see you soon. See ya.